Now, here's the starting lineup.
25 cars took time in qualifying this afternoon. The bottom 10 failed post-qualifying tech, which is why there will be some big names starting out in the back, including Corey Heim in 25th. Trenton Moriarty will start 24th. Bill Kahn will start 23rd. 22nd starter is Ty Gibbs. Riley Herbst, who competed in the Xfinity Series race earlier today, will start 21st. Taylor Canfield will go from the 20th position. Cody Cosentino will start from 19th. Todd Souza will go from 18th. 17th starter is Haley Deegan. Championship contender Derek Kraus will start from 16th. Then it's Bobby Hillis Jr. in 15th. Josh Jackson in 14th. Billy Kahn will start from 13th. 12th starter is Keith McKee, and Takuma Koga will start 11th.
Starting in the 10th position will be Travis Milburn with Matt Levin. Starting in the 9th position, Jack Wood will roll from position number 8. Brittany Zamora will start 7th. Jagger Jones will go from position number 6 with Drew Dollars starting in the 5th position. Row 2 on the outside, starting in the 4th position, Trevor Huddleston with Ty Majeski starting 3rd. Front row, Zane Smith will start 2nd, and on the pole will be Sam Mayer out of Franklin, Wisconsin, and that is the 25 drivers getting ready to take the green flag for 100 laps, including a break that is scheduled around lap number 50.
Something that we see every week here on the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West and the East, for that matter, a mid-race break to allow these teams to service their cars. Teams won't lose or gain spots on the pit lane. Jeff mentioned the pole sitter Sam Mayer. He's the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East champion. The West champion, or soon-to-be West champion, Derek Kraus, failed post-qualifying tech. That's why he and his Bill McAnally Racing teammate Haley Deegan will start outside of the top 15 in the 16th and 17th positions, but with a 47-point lead. Simply by taking the green flag, Derek will clinch this year's title.
Why don't we take a swing around this racetrack? It is 1 mile in length. We refer to it as being very flat and also very unique here in the desert. ISM Raceway, that is home to the Motor Racing Network this weekend, and also a part of the family. Out in turn number 1 from Rancho Cucamonga, California, is Dan Hubbard. Hi, Dan.
Thank you, Jeff. Hi, Jeff, and good evening to everybody. From my scaffold outside at turn 2, I've got a great view of the dog leg, a unique left-hand bend on this front stretch of this 1 miler, and that makes for some exciting starts and restarts. Lots of side-by-side racing that continues into the 11-degree banking of turns 1 and 2. Now, drivers have a choice of lanes here. Many believe the low line is the fast line, but in the previous Xfinity race, a few drivers did take to the high ground, finding a lot of PJ1 up there, and it did pay off for them. We'll see how it shakes out here tonight with these K&N drivers. It's heavy on the throttle off of turn 2 and down the backstretch and into the view of our Dylan Welch from Carmel, Indiana.
Thanks, Dan. And that backstretch is a 1,200-foot piece of straight racetrack, and that'll lead them to the 10 to 11-degree banked turn number 3 and 4. Curious to see here, these cars haven't been on track since this morning. We've had an entire Xfinity race run, 200 laps of racing being laid down, the rubber being laid down on this racetrack since these cars were last on track. So curious to see how that affects the handling on some of these race cars, how these young drivers adapt and have to move around the racetrack. So that's the story here in 3 and 4. We'll cover it all from atop the grandstands, atop the suites here at this end of the speedway.
That's Dylan Welch over in turn number 3, a half a lap away from the start. Let's pick up our pit road coverage with Winston Kelly and Kim Kuhn.
Well, and as you guys said, it's not a strategy race like we might see in our top 3 series. It's all about getting them experience. So we'll have that halfway break, and we're going to look and see how those tires wear. They do have a set of tires that they're going to be able to put on. Kim Kuhn.
We'll hear from Kim in a moment as we are set for the start of the Arizona Lottery 100. Sam Mayer, Zane Smith, that makes up the front row. Ty Majeski and Trevor Huddleston in row number 2. Green flag from the starter stand. Sam Mayer electing to start this event from the outside row, and he will lead the field for the first time into turn 1.
By half a car length in front of Zane Smith and Ty Majeski. They are wheel to wheel for the second position. Behind them is Huddleston and Drew Dollar.
Drew Dollar making a move as well on the inside. He runs in that 4th spotter, trying to take the 4th spot away down the back straightaway from Trevor Huddleston as Mayer leads him into turn number 3 for the first time over Smith and Majeski.
Sam Mayer will lead lap number 1 here at ISM Raceway. Then comes Zane Smith. Then comes Ty Majeski, and a good battle from 3rd on back.
It is, and that battle you find. First there's Zane Smith, that 2nd place battle. Behind him is Ty Majeski, but Trevor Huddleston riding in that 4th position. His mare's full with Drew Dollar and Jagger Jones.
Yeah, Jagger Jones in the second box. Bob Roncati car, the team car to Trevor Huddleston there as they surround the Drew Dollar machine, racing the 4th, 5th, and 6th as those cars run single file into 3.
And by taking the green flag 2 laps ago, Derek Kraus is the 2019 NASCAR K&N Pro Series West champion, although still running deep in the field as the leaders are back in 1.
And here comes the leader, Sam Mayer. He has checked out. His advantage by about 10 car lengths over second place man Zane Smith. Ty Majeski in hot pursuit.
And we're starting to already see these guys move around on the racetrack as they work down into turn number 3. Everybody, though, goes to the bottom groove for the moment. Ty Majeski a little bit higher on his entries. He runs 3rd.
Well, right now we know that the fastway and a brand new set of tires is the bottom of the racetrack, Dan Hubbard, and we know one guy out front who's doing exactly that.
You're talking about Sam Mayer. Here he comes into turn 1. Puts the left side tires on the yellow line of the apron. Lets the tail slide out just a little bit, but he's well in control. Sam Mayer leading the field down the back straightaway.
Of course, Mayer in action in the Truck Series on Friday night. Lots of laps under his belt already this weekend, and it's showing as his gap continues to grow. Zane Smith comfortable in 2nd. Majeski with his hands full in 3rd.
Zane Smith in that 2nd spot, then it's Majeski with some pressure from one of those sunrise Fords of Trevor Huddleston, followed by Drew Dollar and Jagger Jones, who just won in this series a couple weeks ago.
Trevor Huddleston showing some aggressive driving in the early going from that 4th position. Takes a lower line than does Ty Majeski. That's the pursuit for the 3rd spot.
And Jones is indeed closing in on that battle for position. Huddleston as well in front of the Drew Dollar machine, pulling away, and he is closing the gap on that 3rd place battle.
Well, just a moment ago, Kyle Rickey announcing the 2019 K&N West Series champion. And we all get the fact that that's over. Derek Kraus has picked up the championship. There is a great ongoing battle for 2nd, and you mentioned it earlier. Right now, Jagger Jones has 2nd as we take the green flag. 4 back is Haley Deegan. 5 back is Trevor Huddleston. 3 drivers all trying to be runner-up in 2019.
Yeah, Trevor Huddleston has had a great year. Right now running in the 4th spot, driving for Bob Roncati from Sunrise Ford. 2 wins this year at the Irwindale Speedway and at Evergreen Speedway up in Monroe, Washington. 8th last time out. This is by far his best season. 6th in points a year ago. 4th right now, and like you mentioned, trying to advance on that. And he has a couple of points over Jagger Jones, who's running in the 6th spot. Haley Deegan having to start deep in the field, but her and Derek Kraus both making their way up through the field after failing post-qualifying tech earlier this afternoon.
Well, and Derek getting by Haley Deegan at the start-finish line. We're going to pick up that battle right now. Haley running just outside of the top 10. Derek Kraus just cracked the top 10, Dan.
And they are closing in on Brittany Zamora. Zamora struggling just a little bit in the center of the corner, and Derek Kraus is right there on the rear bumper.
And this is 9th, 10th, and 11th as they work down the back straightaway. 3 team cars under the Bill McAnally stable. Brittany Zamora leading Kraus and pulling away from Deegan.
Zamora in her rookie year here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West for Bill McAnally Racing. The first time she ever saw this place yesterday as a fan as they were unloading her car. She got to watch the NASCAR Gander outdoor trucks last night. They practiced and qualified earlier today, but has a lot of laps here on the West Coast. Brittany, just 20 years old from Kennewick, Washington. Last year's 2018 Super Late Model champion on the Northwest Tour.
And they are all running together like Dylan Welch was pointing out, all driving for the same team owner, Bill McAnally. Brittany Zamora, Derek Kraus, Haley Deegan. Let's get more on Brittany, who just got passed by the champion, Kim.
Yeah, you guys were talking about her struggles on the racetrack. Well, she's reporting a vibration on that Ineos Toyota, radioed to her crew, and she noticed it on the 2nd lap, seemed a little concerned. The crew tried to calm her down, said, if it keeps getting worse, let us know, but just ride it out right now.
Last year's Wendell Scott Trailblazer Award winner, given annually to a minority in the sport. Ryan Vargas, who was in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race, also a 2-time winner of that award. So Brittany struggling a bit here in the early stages of this event, wanting to finish in the top 5 in points. In fact, the driver that she's racing for that spot, Todd Souza, currently 13th on the leaderboard, 1 spot behind Brittany Zamora at 12.
Well, something interesting between the race leader, Sam Mayer, and the guy that's running 9th, and the champion, Derek Kraus, and that is the fact that they are both drivers that call the state of Wisconsin home. And right now, Dylan, I know you've been watching that guy out front, just simply driving away from the field. The youngster, Sam Mayer, and that number 21 car really putting on a show here early.
And so impressive, no matter what he gets in. We've seen him run well in the Truck Series and the limited starts he's made there. He's competed, of course, in the K&N, primarily on the East Series, and just so impressive, wrapping up the championship there as well. And everything he gets in, he makes it look easy for a young kid, and doing that again here today, just out on cruise control right now as he continues to gap this field and pull away from Zane Smith.
3.1 seconds the advantage for Sam Mayer, who hasn't raced a whole lot here on the West Coast. In fact, it is his series debut, if you don't include the combination races at Gateway, at the Worldwide Technology Raceway, and the Iowa Speedway, where the East and the West come together. This is debut here on the West Coast. 4 wins this year in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East, Bristol twice, at the Iowa Speedway, and then at Dover, which was enough to win the championship. And now with all that momentum on his side after Dover a couple of weeks ago, he and that GMS team, which has been so strong on the East Coast, showing what they have here on the West Coast.
And with Sam Mayer leading right now by 3.6 seconds, only 13 laps in, you might think, well, geez, go ahead and just carve the name Sam Mayer into the trophy. But I would say not so fast, because if you remember, Kyle Rickey pointed out before we dropped the green flag, 10 cars went to the tail end of the field because they failed inspection, and those cars are working their way very quickly through the field, and in a matter of what, maybe 10, 15, 20, maybe the second half of the race, we're going to have the good cars, if you will, the stronger cars at the front of the field, all competing with one another.
We'll have that caution flag around the halfway mark of this event, at or around lap number 50, for these teams to hit pit road and take 4 tires and fuel and make adjustments if they choose over the course of a 5-minute window. For those watching on fanschoice.tv, you've been able to watch the drivers that we were just talking about. Haley Deegan currently running in the 11th spot. Derek Kraus running in the 9th spot, making their way up through the field after failing post-qualifying tech earlier this morning. Kraus clinched the championship after lap 1. He has since raced his way into the top 10, passing Ty Gibbs a moment ago. Haley Deegan is close, running in the 11th spot right now.
So we are now 17 laps complete. Sam Mayer has led them all, and he is driving away, trying to put this field at just out of touch early on. That's not going to happen, but right now he is 4.2 seconds ahead of Zane Smith. Ty Majeski goes third. Drew Dollar right now running fourth. Riley Herbst is fifth. That is a quick look at your top 5. 17 complete. Remember, we're going to get a break with, if we don't get a caution, we know we're going to slow them down at around lap number 50.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away 1 set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our street.
NASCAR Coast to Coast on MRN.com and Motor Racing Network's Facebook. Join me, Kyle Rickey, and Hannah Newhouse as we talk with the next generation of NASCAR stars and established local and regional racers each Wednesday at 1 Eastern Time. Or subscribe, download, and listen on your favorite podcast provider. NASCAR Coast to Coast. Grassroots NASCAR racing from the Motor Racing Network.
Well, Sam Mayer out of Wisconsin is race leader. Fastest car on the racetrack, driver out of Marietta, Georgia, started dead last, Corey Heim. And we were talking about those drivers that failed after qualifying inspection and had to start at the tail end of the field. Corey had to start dead last. He is just outside of the top 5. More on him, and also an update on Hallie Deegan when we come back. From ISM Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hey guys, it's Dylan Welch. He's Tyler Burnett. We're the co-hosts of the Rip the Fence podcast. If you like traditional non-wing dirt track racing, we've got the podcast for you.
Shane Meal trying to drive away.
I can't do everything, but I could do anything and everything I wanted before I got injured. So
Just like many of the great podcasts going, we invite racers in to talk, and they tell us their life story.
and it's how I feel that matters.
It's the Rip the Fence podcast, available on MRN.com and your favorite podcast app.
Hey guys, Corley Joy. Join me and my friends Lauren Fox and Daryl Ma on the Sunday Money Podcast. We talk racing.
Listen, a lot's happened. We talk about the race and your spectacular sixth-place finish.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Daryl, maybe you should start off by telling us why you weren't here last week.
And just life.
What is the biggest difference this week? Because you look a little more
I
pregnant.
found out I have a third nipple.
It's Sunday Money on MRN.com, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts.
There's our next promo.
23 laps are now complete. Sam Mayer at the front of the field. Last car on the lead lap, running in the 13th position is Brittany Zamora. Her teammate Haley Deegan running in the 11th position. And then Derek Kraus, the other car out of that three-car stable and champion right now, running in the 9th position. But I know you have been watching a driver just outside of the top 5 climb up the leaderboard.
Talking about Corey Heim making his NASCAR debut here this afternoon. Is running the Arkham and Art Series part-time this year, and also the Cars Super Late Model Tour in the southeastern part of this country. First time here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, just 17 years of age. Had a tough time in qualifying earlier today, having to start 25th after another one of those drivers that failed post-qualifying tech, and he wasted little time moving up to the 6th spot, but has been unable to get around Riley Herbst to get into the top 5.
Well, he has been advancing up the leaderboard. One that is kind of stalled out on the leaderboard, running in the 11th position, just outside of the top 10, is Haley Deegan. And Kim Kuhn, I know you have been around her pit area for the first 25 laps.
That's right, and the handling of that Toyota just not to her liking. It's a little bit loose. The left rear of that Toyota is out of the racetrack, so they will look for possibly some adjustments in that midpoint break. But Winston Kelly at the top of the broadcast mentioned a lot of these young drivers are here to gain experience, to add to their resume. Haley Deegan, definitely one of those drivers looking to add to her notebooks, add to her knowledge, and the team has just been doing that for her. Her spotters schooling her in how to attack this track early in the run, telling her to back her entry up in the corner, and then at about lap 21 came on to reassure her that whatever you just did that last lap was good. You're taking the knowledge we're giving you and you're putting it to use. You're still a little early on your entry into the corner, and reminding her you're going to be better off if you're patient and you use good judgment. That's where you're going to see results.
Running in the 11th spot right now, 18-year-old Temecula, California native Haley Deegan, of course the daughter of Brian Deegan, a former Supercross and motocross rider, an off-road racer, and a 10-time X Games medalist. Of course, talking about Brian Deegan. Ty Majeski also having a good run here early on, running in the top 5. Third a moment ago until Drew Dollar made the pass on Ty a lap ago. Winston, what are they saying in that Chad Bryant Racing pit?
I talked to Paul Andrews, and if that name is familiar to you, when NASCAR came out here with the Cup Series the first time in 1988, he was the winning crew chief. He called the shots for Hall of Famer Alan Kowicki, and he just told me that the car is very, very loose. That's the problem with Ty Majeski. Ty Majeski, a part of the scholarship program that the Alan Kowicki Foundation out of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte provides. Of course, Paul Andrews among those on the board of directors for that, so he's got a personal interest in this Ty Majeski, also in the race earlier today. But Paul said the car a little bit loose for his liking, or very loose actually for his liking, and that's why he's fallen back a position.
Well, why don't we pick up that battle? It will be from 4th on back. Sam Mayer right now continues to lead over Zane Smith and Drew Dollar. That is your top 3. Then you get back to Ty Majeski, Riley Herbst, and Corey Heim. They work off of turn number 4, coming back across the line. Drew Dollar right there. Then you get Ty Majeski, Riley, and Corey. They're headed your way, Dan Hubbard.
Coming through the dog leg, Majeski in that 4th spot has an advantage over Riley Herbst, put it at about 5 to 6 car lengths. But Riley Herbst has been very impressive in the early going. So too is Corey Heim. 1, 2, and 3. They make their way single file down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Herbst and Heim starting to close that gap on Ty Majeski as he runs in that 4th spot. They work into turn 3. You can see that loose condition that Majeski's battling as he skates through the corner.
Ty Majeski slides up off of turn number 4, hangs on to 4th, but only by about a car length and a half. over Riley Herbst in 5th. This battle for position, about a half a track behind race leader Sam Mayer as they race through turn number 2. Mayer already off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 32. Has a healthy gap between himself and Zane Smith. There's a lot of drivers, Jeff, that are outside of, say, the top 1 of Sam Mayer that are really looking forward to a caution flag at or around the halfway mark about 18 laps from now.
All right, the spotters are down to our left on top of the brand new suites here at ISM Radio, and I would imagine that most of them are getting an earful from their driver. In other words, how many laps until the mandatory caution flag comes out, because a number of very good drivers have already gone a lap down. Todd Souza, a lap down. Brittany Zamora, a lap down, among others, with only 11 cars on the lead lap. And Haley Deegan right now in danger of going a lap down.
They race their way up the back straightaway into turn number 3. Haley Deegan trying to stay on the lead lap with that Bill McAnally Racing entry. Sam Mayer quickly closing in, as that's probably the best race on the racetrack right now. Can Deegan stay on the lead lap, Dan Hubbard?
Mayer makes his way through the dog leg again, put the gap about 10 car lengths. Deegan rides the middle group now. She's been experimenting at this end of the raceway, doing everything she can to stay on the lead lap.
And don't know if it's going to be enough, because Mayer is coming strong in a hurry down the back straightaway. That gap went from about 10 to 15 car lengths to probably about 7 or 8 just in a lap.
16-year-old driver right now is the race leader in Sam Mayer, driving for GMS Motorsports, and I know you have followed that team for a long time.
And the last few years in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East, we've seen drivers move up the ladder after winning the championship. Ben Rhodes and Justin Haley, Tyler Ankrum a year ago have moved into the Gander trucks this year. The thing with Sam, he's still too young to really make the move into the next level. At just 16 years old, he could only run a handful of races next year in a Gander truck or in an Xfinity car, because you got to be 18 years old to run tracks larger than 1.25 miles. Their limit is Gateway, or the Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway.
And by the way, we talked about this when we came on the air. This is the proving ground. This is the beginning. This is the platform, if you will, to advance. All right. Sam Mayer, 16-year-old driver, just waxing the field right now. That's not true for everybody. Bobby Hillis Jr., just a few moments ago, he's been on and off pit road. He is exactly 18 laps down to the race leader. He's been on and off pit road 3 straight times and busted for speeding all 3 times.
It's something new for a lot of these teams, and Bobby Hillis Jr. not a regular here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, so maybe that tack wasn't set the way it probably needed to be under the parade and pace laps before the start of this race, where drivers are taking around the speedway at pit road speed of 45 miles per hour.
You don't become Kevin Harvick unless you start here and you learn. And Dan Hubbard, you're down there from Rancho Cucamonga, California, and you're familiar with the K&N Pro Series West, and that opportunity, more importantly, to learn. This is the opportunity for all of these drivers to race at a big-time racetrack under the spotlight, and some right now doing very well, and others are just in that learning process.
I've heard some of the teams say that because of the size of this track and the notoriety of ISM Raceway, this is kind of their Daytona. We already know it was their championship race in 2019, but this is a chance for them to show what they can do to the larger teams. You don't know how many team owners are watching this race right now. From the Xfinity Series, from the Cup Series. They may be looking for that next big thing, and it could come from this field. Now, granted, the example you gave there of the gentleman busted for speeding 3 times in a row, it's also a platform for learning. There's no question about it. And just as an observation, I'd just like to add about Corey Heim. This, as we apparently have a problem on the track right now.
Yeah, first caution of the afternoon now with 60 laps to go, 40 laps complete. It is for debris here on the front stretch. Dog leg, as that'll put us under the caution flag for the first time. Sam Mayer has led all the laps, and everybody else is breathing a bit of sigh of relief, as they know at least they'll be able to stay hopefully on the lead lap for the drivers that remain there, which is only, I believe, the top 10.
13-second advantage evaporates Sam Mayer over Zane Smith, Drew Dollar, Riley Herbst, and Corey Heim. We are under the caution flag for the first time here this afternoon.
The battle for the 2019 championship will be filled with twists and turns.
We got to kind of calm down for these speedway races because you can use the bumper, but you end up taking 10 other people with you.
Each weekday, NASCAR Today brings you the top stories in the sport.
That's a totally different experience for me and Cup.
In the garage, at the track, or behind the scenes, NASCAR Today keeps you up to speed every weekday.
Go for it. What do we got to lose? I don't know. I mean, you might as well try it, right?
The 1993 Cup Series season had more than its fair share of twists and turns.
Checkered flags waving. I look in my mirror, and here's Earnhardt right on my tail, and he goes down low to pass me. And I said, oh, no, you don't.
As Wallace spins, Wallace's car goes on its nose.
Here's stories that you've never heard before in a 10-part series called The 1993 Season.
And Davey was behind me, and we came off the corner, and there's a guy standing in the middle of the racetrack.
You can download it for free on iTunes and at MRN.com right now.
11 cars now on the lead lap. Hailie Deegan getting the free pass courtesy of the debris caution flag that came out just a lap ago as we work now lap number 42. Sam Mayer at the front of the field from ISM Raceway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
For 5 decades, the Motor Racing Network has been the voice of NASCAR. And now, it's time to tell our story.
They are in turn 2 in front of Mike Joy.
With help from some of the sport's iconic voices.
Oh, crap! And I spin around. Here comes Richard Petty.
I'm Fred Armstrong. Join me for MRN's newest podcast series. MRN presents 50 Years, the voice of NASCAR. Available for download on MRN.com and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
When you're on the go, missing the side-by-side action at the racetrack isn't a problem.
Here comes Logano on the high side. He drives it deep into turn number 2.
Motor Racing Network brings the NASCAR race to you, wherever you are, so you don't miss one lap of the excitement.
Denny Hamlin has won the 61st edition of the Daytona 500.
You are the man, D8.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Debris caution came out on lap number 40, slowed the field. First time we've seen the caution flag since we put him under the green flag, and Sam Mayer checked out and has dominated here over Zane Smith, then Drew Dollar, Riley Herbst, and Corey Heim. By the way, Corey now, who started dead last, has cracked his way into the top 5, and a big break also for Hailie Deegan with that caution flag.
Yeah, she gets the free pass, gets back on the lead lap, was running 11th at the time, the first car a lap down. She is now put back on the lead lap with about 18 laps to go in this first segment of the race at or around lap 50. Make that 7 laps to go before the break. We expect cars on pit road to make 4-tire change and to add fuel. They cannot do any of that legally before that time has come.
Ty Majeski is on pit road, and he will now pull away. Let's talk about that for those that may not be ultra familiar with the rules of the K&N Pro Series. We talk about the fact that we get a mandatory caution around lap 50. We just got one at lap 40. We're going to get another one, and perhaps you can walk everybody through exactly how that plays out.
Yeah, it's a cost-cutting measure here in these NASCAR Touring Series to provide these teams at race weekends like this from going out and getting the high-dollar Cup pit crews that a lot of what we see in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. These teams just simply can't afford to do that. So each and every week, as is standard here in this series, at or around halfway, depending how that caution flag falls. If a caution comes out at, say, a lap 48, they'll just use that caution flag as the mandatory break. But that'll allow teams to come down pit road. They will not lose or gain positions on pit road unless they're continuing to work on the car past that 5-minute mark.
Mentioned that our race leader drives for GMS Racing. He is scheduled to make 6 appearances for GMS Racing in 2020, driving in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Trying to win here today as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Row 1 for the restart, Sam Mayer and Zane Smith. Drew Dollar, Riley Herbst together in row 2. Then it's Corey Heim and Ty Gibbs. They're together in row number 3.
Those are the front 3 rows as the green flag comes out off of turn number 4, and Sam Mayer picking up right where he left off as the race leader. They fan out 2 and 3 wide from second on back.
Sam Mayer getting a heck of a push from Riley Herbst, so Mayer will take the lead. Now Herbst and Zane Smith, they'll duke it out for the second spot.
Corey Heim all the way 4 tires below the yellow line on the apron, trying to complete this drive from worst to first. For now, he'll have to settle in the 4th spot. Battle for second with Riley Herbst outside Zane Smith.
Boy, it was a bonsai move by Corey Heim trying to get up underneath Zane Smith. It didn't work. He's going to lose 2, 3, maybe even 4 spots before it's all said and done.
Meanwhile, up ahead, the fight is still on for that second spot. Zane Smith wiggles just a little bit on the apron, almost gets into Riley Herbst, as they're still side by side.
Herbst trying to pin Smith to that yellow line off the exit of turn number 2, but Smith hanging with him at the end of the backstretch, still side by side for the second lap in a row for the second spot.
Allowing the race leader, Sam Mayer, to break away at the front of the field. Riley Herbst still in second. Zane Smith there in third. Add Ty Gibbs to the battle in fourth.
Ty Gibbs looked briefly to the inside of Zane Smith, thought better on it, wallows out of the throttle, and now tucks in behind Smith. So the second place man is now Riley Herbst with Zane Smith riding in third.
Smith in the middle of a Monster Energy sandwich here. The identical looking cars of Zane Smith, or rather Ty Gibbs and Riley Herbst running their second, third, and fourth as Smith tries to defend one and pass the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, the meat in the sandwich, if you will, is Zane Smith. Riley Herbst in front of him. Ty Gibbs right behind him.
Herbst starts to pull away just a little bit from Zane Smith, filling his mirrors. That's where you'll find Ty Gibbs. Gibbs goes up the banking just a bit, experimenting with that middle groove. He's trying to dump Drew Dollar.
Drew Dollar, indeed, with a nice run off the exit of turn number 2, and Smith, Herbst trying to throw the block at the end of the back straightaway to no avail. Drew Dollar drives it in hard to take that spot.
Drew Dollar had the spot for a moment, slides up the racetrack though off of turn number 4. Ty Gibbs will retain the 4th position for now. Also a nice save a lap to go. A near incident off of turn 4 involving the former Navy SEAL Taylor Canfield, the part-timer in this series, the El Cajon, California native, running just off the lead lap, but saved that car a lap to go, keeping it off the outside wall.
Sam Mayer will lead the field off of turn number 4, and we do expect to see the caution flag. There's no guarantee, but we do expect to see the caution flag come out. We are 50 in, 50 to go. Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst, Zane Smith, Ty Gibbs, Drew Dollar, that is your top 5.
Has a 2.8 second lead. That's the top 5. Garrett Krause, this year's champion, is up to 6th. Ty Majeski 7th. Corey Heim 8th. Trevor Huddleston runs in 9th. Jagger Jones rounding out the top 10. Haley Deegan, the only other car on the lead lap, and once she crosses the line, we expect to see a caution flag here in the next lap or 2 as we are now into the second half of this race.
Well, it has been dominated, all of it, all 51 laps by one driver who just refuses to contend with anybody, driving away from the field before the caution and after Sam Mayer. Riley Herbst has done a great job trying to hang with them. That has not worked. Zane Smith, Ty Gibbs, Drew Dollar, that is your top 5. Quick observation, if you will. Let's go over in turn number 3. Dylan Welch is there. And Dylan, the one thing about this series, they will use every inch that is provided here at ISM Raceway.
Yeah, they certainly will. And guys, we may have a problem with Zane Smith's car here. He is dropped like a rock out of the second position and seems to be off the pace as he works down the back straightaway. 2 or 3 cars have gotten by him. But yes, Jeff, to your point, all of this racetrack is up for grabs as these cars move around the racetrack to try to advance their position.
And with that, the caution flag does come out at or around halfway, and in this case at lap number 53, 3 laps after the halfway mark, with Sam Mayer leading the way. Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs, Drew Dollar, and Zane Smith, that's the top 5. They will bunch the field up, and after a lap or 2 under the caution flag, will hit the pit lane for the mandatory controlled pit stop that occurs each and every time the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West hits the racetrack. We have talked about the Arizona Lottery several times over the course of this broadcast. They are sponsoring this event, the Arizona Lottery 100 for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, and the Deputy Director of Marketing and Products for the Arizona Lottery, Chris Rogers, joins us now up here in the MRN broadcast booth. Chris, welcome to the ISM Raceway here in Phoenix.
Thanks so much, Kyle. We really appreciate you having us out. This is a great opportunity for us. Obviously, we've been a long-time partner with the track at ISM, and it's just great to be out for the K&N series. It's back for the first time in 5 years here in Arizona.
What drew you guys to this series? Obviously, a developmental series where the future of our sport, getting some much needed track time here tonight, trying to progress to that next level.
And I think that's exactly what it is. It's the future of the sport for us. So a lot of these drivers are go on to do bigger things, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
Tell us about some of the fan engagement opportunities. On the Midway, I believe there was a scavenger hunt this weekend as well involving you guys.
Absolutely. So we had 10 die-cast cars that we set around the track today. So that was a scavenger hunt that people could find, and then if they found that car, they won a scratcher's packet, and then they also had a VIP track experience today as well.
You can say now, I think, now that we're halfway through this race, where were those cars hidden? Were they all found?
They were all found.
They were all found.
Well, never mind then.
I would have
to go look. Tell us a little bit more about Arizona Lottery.
So Arizona Lottery, obviously our purpose is really to raise funds with responsible gaming and give back to the state. We've just had our biggest year ever. We've crossed the $1 billion threshold. And we give to 13 different beneficiaries that support 18 different programs across the state of Arizona. And those have focus in everything from health and human resources to conservation to higher education.
And where can folks go to learn more?
ArizonaLottery.com.
Easy enough. Chris, want to thank you for joining us here, and thank you for your partnership with the ISM Raceway and the return of the NASCAR K&N Pro Series here this weekend.
Thanks so much, Kyle.
That is Chris Rogers, the Deputy Director of Marketing and Products for Arizona Lottery, as the Arizona Lottery 100, just over halfway home, and all the cars are hitting pit lane.
And we will cover those stops. Here they come now, Sam Mayer. By the way, I would like the number to the Powerball. If you can provide that for me, I would appreciate it. The numbers are needed here. Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs, Drew Dollar, Zane Smith, Derek Kraus, your champion, Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, Trevor Huddleston, Jagger Jones, and Haley Deegan, the cars on the lead lap. Todd Souza got the free pass. 12 cars on the lead lap. Winston Kelly, this is not a race off of pit road. This is an opportunity, however, to work on your car.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to change 4 tires, make some adjustments to the car. We talked to Dave Rogers. You may remember that name as well. He's from the Joe Gibbs Racing Stable. He's going to be back atop Riley Herbst's box next year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He said their car is extremely loose. On the other end of the spectrum, the leader, Sam Mayer, we talked to Marty Lindley, who calls the shots there, and he said they were talking about the changes they were going to make. Very little, likes the balance on Sam Mayer's car, so they can change tires. They're not going to lose any position. They'll have about 5 minutes that everybody can go out and make these adjustments and put in Sunoco fuel on these cars. So no, it's not going to be a race off of pit road. It's a cost control measure, is what we heard earlier from Kyle Rickey. It's just come down pit road, make some adjustments to the car if they want to, change tires if they want to, and put in Sunoco fuel. So that's about all that we're going to see down here on pit road.
Kim Kuhn?
Let's just do a recap of some of those Bill McAnally racing cars. That champion, Derek Kraus, on those pace laps, he came in and he congratulated the team. He said, "I'm a champion because of you guys. I can't thank you enough." And then his team reminded him, "You're a hard charger. You did this. Go out and get what you can." And that car not giving him too many problems. They are changing the tires right now. He was reporting that the brakes were a bit spongy for a bit, but they seemed to feel a little bit more solid during the end of that run, meaning they were giving him more feedback on his inputs. Haley Deegan, also one of those cars in the Bill McAnally Racing stable. She, remember, reporting a loose condition on that Toyota, so they did make an adjustment on that car to give her a little bit more rear stability. It didn't really tighten up over the run, she said, but it did get a little bit better. So again, they're going to give her what she needs to get more rear security out of that race car as they continue to change tires. And then Brittany Zamora having all sorts of troubles on that race car, reported that vibration. Changing tires should help that, the team thinks. She also reported her brakes were going away. So the plan was to put fuel in the car, tires, and then if they had time, to bleed the right front as well as the left front.
Brittany Zamora running 13th, first car off the lead lap. Haley Deegan is in the 11th position after getting the free pass under the first caution flag of the afternoon. And champion Derek Kraus will restart in the 6th spot as we are under the red flag, the halfway break underway here at ISM Raceway as Sam Mayer is the race leader.
Hi folks, Mike Bagley here. At MRN, we rely on equipment from Racing Electronics.
Joey Logano to the lead on the back straightaway.
Racing Electronics has scanners and headphones. We can listen to every uncensored conversation between driver and crew.
You won the championship, baby, yeah!
And when we need live audio, in-car cameras, and up-to-the-second statistics, use their latest handheld unit called Legend. To learn more about these products and many others, visit racingelectronics.com. Racing Electronics, the official two-way communication partner of MRN.
Are you ready?
To help children forget about their serious medical conditions so they can just be a kid. Then support Victory Junction, which is the dream of late race driver Adam Petty, who wanted to build a camp where children concentrate on fun and laughter, not illness or disability. At Victory Junction, kids enjoy ziplining, horseback riding, swimming, fishing, all in a medically safe environment, all at no cost to the camper. What do you say, Richard Petty?
Let's do this.
Learn more at victoryjunction.org.
Tomorrow, the Final Four is set for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Championship. Live coverage of the Blue Green Vacations 500 in Phoenix begins at 1:30 Eastern Time, only on the Motor Racing Network.
Kyle Busch winning the pole for that event earlier this afternoon. Just about 90 seconds or so left in this break for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West before we wrap up the second half of this event and the 2019 season. From ISM Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Before you know it, we'll be crowning the 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup champion in Miami. You need to be there to witness Ford Championship Weekend, November 15th through the 17th at Homestead Miami Speedway. 3 days, 3 races, 3 NASCAR champions.
What a year for Joey Logano, and he caps it off with a win at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Pick out the best seats in the house for the pinnacle race of the 2019 NASCAR season in South Florida. Call 866-409-7223. That's 866-409-RACE.
For more than 80 years, Detroit Diesel has been the legendary driving force powering many of the best-known trucks on the road. Through our state-of-the-art Detroit technologies in components and safety systems, we've earned our customers' trust as a reliable business partner dedicated to improving their bottom line. It's no wonder they continue to depend on Detroit to keep them safe and efficient on the road. When you demand it all, demand Detroit.
About 30 seconds left in this halfway break for teams to work on their cars on pit road, and once the 5-minute clock is up, they will be required to leave their pit stall and line up like a lot of the field already has on the back straightaway. Sam Mayer leads the way. Talked a lot about Hailie Deegan, and she has really made a lot of noise at this level of the sport over the last 2 years, winning races while quickly becoming one of the most watched figures in the sport on social media. Because of her popularity, though, many believe she'll quickly move up the NASCAR ladder, but told me this weekend it's not that easy.
I would obviously love to be with the best team and the best equipment racing every single weekend, but it's not financially possible. Like, I don't come from this rich dad scenario. People think like, oh, your dad's Brian Deegan, he has all the money in the world. But my dad gets paid to race, and gets that money that he gets paid with goes towards racing. His money is win bonuses. And so people are like, oh, your dad's famous, he has a bunch of money. No, okay? He might be famous, he might have a lot of followers, but that doesn't equivalent to dollars.
One of the great personalities in the sport, Jeff, that has come up through pretty quick here. Was just off-road racing 3 years ago and was asked at SEMA earlier this week, she said about 100 times, what her plans are for 2020. And she still really doesn't know yet. It depends on sponsorship, and it depends on how these schedules that we talked about earlier pan out, with the K&N series falling under the ARCA umbrella for next year.
When you look at Sam Mayer and you look at Riley Herbst and you look at Drew Dollar and Zane Smith and Derek Kraus, your champion, add Haley in there, add Brittany in there, how far, what's their next step? How far will they go? Well, their next step will be contingent on one thing, and that is the fact that without money, they're going to go nowhere. And you're talking about the young talent in motorsports right here. This is what is next to come. We know that Chase Elliott has already reached the pinnacle, and so is Ryan Blaney, and so is Ty Dillon, if you will, to name some of the younger drivers. who will replace them now and move into the Truck Series and then on into the Xfinity Series. Well, you may be looking at a future Cup Series champion that without money, without that financial backing, will go no further than where they're at right now. I mean, that's the unfortunate truth of auto racing, big-time auto racing in America.
Yeah, this end of motorsports at this level or at the weekly level at NASCAR Whelen All-American Series home tracks across the country, in Super Late models and in NASCAR Modifieds that compete every Friday and Saturday nights at tracks across America. The field has already got the 1 to go signal as we'll resume this race with about 43 laps to go. So let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. The halfway break has been completed here in the Arizona Lottery 100, the season finale for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. Sam Mayer is the race leader and has led all 56 laps thus far. Derek Kraus, while running 5th after having to start at the rear of the field, has clinched the 2019 Series Championship. Kyle Rickey and Jeff Striegel with you up in the MRN broadcast booth. Dan Hubbard and Dylan Welch out in the corners. Winston Kelly and Kim Kuhn down on pit road. As we are set for the restart with 43 laps to go, Sam Mayer and Riley Herbst make up the front row.
We only had one caution flag fly prior to the break. Will it be like that all the way to the checkered flag? We'll find out. Green flag goes back in the air. Mayer on the outside, Riley Herbst on the inside. Right behind them, Ty Gibbs, Zane Smith, Derek Kraus are headed to 1.
This time Sam Mayer has got a race on his hands. Riley Herbst right to his left elbow. They're absolutely side by side with Ty Gibbs in tow.
Herbst not able to complete the pass. Mayer will go back around the outside and into the race lead. Herbst slots in line in second. Ty Gibbs slots in line in third. Behind him, side by side for fourth with Corey Heim inside Drew Dollar.
Riley Herbst driving from lap 11 here this afternoon, giving Sam Mayer a run for his money on the restart. Now that they've cut up the speed and completed a lap, Mayer beginning to pull away again.
3-car breakaway up at the front, single file formation with Mayer out in front, side by side for fourth. Corey Heim and Drew Dollar.
And indeed, they are leaning on each other off of turn number 2. Sideways was Drew Dollar. Heim was sideways as well. It may cost him a spot to his teammate. Here's Ty Majeski to his inside, racing for that 6-5.
Yeah, we're working off of turn number 4. They come. Majeski now down on the inside. We thought Corey Heim may make a major charge to the front.
Turn number 4. 3 cars stopped at the exit of turn number 3, and one of them comes to a stop finally at the exit of turn number 3. That's Bobby Hillis. 2 other cars able to drive away. Bill Kahn drove away from the scene, as did Josh Jackson. But the Bobby Hillis car has come to a stop on the apron in turn 3.
All those cars running off the lead lap. Josh Jackson in 21st, Bill Kahn in 22nd, Bobby Hillis Jr. multiple laps down in the 24th position, all getting together and spinning off of turn number 4. The incident starting going into turn number 3 to put us under the caution flag for the 3rd time in this event as Sam Mayer continues to lead here at ISM Raceway.
40 laps to go. We'll be back with more after this.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-through coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Quality drinks and unmatched customer service is the name of the game. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom flavor-infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. Over 25 flavors, there's something for everyone. Visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Open daily from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar. It's the age-old racing debate. Is it the car or is it the driver? Well, the answer isn't really that simple. If you do the math, it's 1 part car, 1 part driver, 5 parts pit crew. Not to mention all the guys back at the shop, the engine builder, the interior designer, wind tunnel tech, decal artist. Be sure to join MRN Crew Call each week to meet the guys behind the numbers that make the car go. It's MRN Crew Call presented by Moneyline. Every Wednesday on MRN.com or wherever you listen to your podcast.
Under the Moneyline caution flag, now 60 laps, make it 61 are complete, 39 remain. We're at a reduced speed here, and we'll get back under the green flag shortly. Sam Mayer, well, he is dominated. He's got 38 laps to go and perhaps a checkered flag that will await. We'll all find out together from ISM Raceway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon has come from virtually nowhere.
He's one of NASCAR's all-time greats.
For the 93rd time in his career.
A pioneering champion.
Be at the right place at the right time.
The kid who took on the good old boys and changed NASCAR.
We started to go toe-to-toe from Earnhardt.
MRN presents a 10-part podcast series that traces Jeff Gordon's rise to NASCAR legend. Jeff Gordon, the colorful career of the Rainbow Warrior. Available now at MRN.com and your favorite podcast source.
For 5 decades, the Motor Racing Network has been the voice of NASCAR. And now, it's time to tell our story.
They are in turn 2 in front of Mike Joy.
With help from some of the sport's iconic voices.
Oh, crap! And I spin around. Here comes Richard Petty.
I'm Fred Armstrong. Join me for MRN's newest podcast series. MRN presents 50 Years, the voice of NASCAR. Available for download on MRN.com and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
K&N Pro Series has gone under the red flag, not for anything other than just to clean up the racetrack and the fact that this is only a 100-lap event. We've already ran 61 of those laps, leaving us 39 to go. So we put the red flag out, get the track cleaned up, and then we'll put them back under the green flag. Season ender for this one. We've crowned a champion. We look forward to 2020, but before we do that, we got to send somebody to Gatorade Victory Lane.
And we will do that in 39 laps from now. Clean up here on the front straightaway, a little bit of fluid from the Bill Kahn car. That car has since been towed back to the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West garage area. Talked earlier that it's been 4 years since the NASCAR K&N Pro Series last raced here at the ISM Raceway. Kevin Harvick, a former champion of this division, helped spearhead that push in getting the series back to this 1 mile oval and explained to me recently why he believes this is such an important venue for this series.
You know, I think as you look at being a former K&N competitor and having run a couple K&N races over the last 4 or 5 years, you know, I think that from the outside looking in, it becomes a dollar and cents game, and from the inside it becomes kind of a pride thing, and being able to have the K&N series in their race in that environment with the Cup cars and Xfinity cars and trucks and all those people there is a big deal to those competitors, and sometimes we take for granted what we do on a given weekend, and those guys, with a lot of volunteer crew members and a lot of local sponsors, those become marquee events for them because of the fact that they can be in that environment.
Came up in a post-race press conference last year after winning here at the ISM Raceway for Kevin Harvick, who has supported this division and, in general, grassroots racing. KHI, his company, has contingency bonuses at short tracks across the country, including at Kern County Raceway Park here on the West Coast, at Stafford Motor Speedway for the modified division on the East Coast. And he asked flat up in a press conference why the K&N Series isn't here. And NASCAR heard him, and 6 months later, it's back on the schedule here at ISM Raceway.
I want to talk to you more about that and Biffle and Harvick and the importance of ISM Raceway in their career. Right now, though, we crowned a champion when we dropped the green flag, the 9th for this team owner, who happens to be standing alongside our Kim Coon.
Yeah, that would be Bill McAnally, and Derek Kraus, by firing the engine on his car, clinched that record 9th K&N West championship for you. What makes this championship different than the others?
Well, it's great. It's Derek's first, and to bring a young driver in here and see him become a NASCAR champion, it's fantastic. And Derek's a special kid. I mean, 7 wins for us this year. He led the East and West for as long as we could run the East and West. But he's a special individual. It's great to share this championship with him and this number 16 Napa Auto Parts team.
It's funny you mentioned he's a special individual. I was going to ask what's so special about him. You touched on some of that. What kind of future do you see for this young driver?
Oh, he's a hard charger. I mean, and he knows what he needs in a race car for a long run, a short run, and he isn't easy to make happy. He likes that car just right. So he's not easy satisfied. So he knows what he needs in a car, and he works so hard to get it where it needs to be.
Congratulations and enjoy this championship.
Will do. Thank you.
That's Bill McAnally. He knows how to do things right here in the K&N Pro Series West.
As he has for a couple of decades now, his 4th championship in the last 5 years for Bill McAnally Racing. An incredible string of titles for that longtime owner here Let's go back down to pit road, check in with Winston Kelly, who is standing by with Dave Rogers.
Yeah, let me see if we can climb up on this box. He's going to be back on the box next year for Riley Herbst. But right now, what's he saying about the car? And you guys got enough to get around Sam Mayer, who's been out front all night.
Well, Sam's been real strong all night, but I'm really proud of Riley. He's doing a lot of good things behind the steering wheel. I know we're a little bit too free that first half of the race. We took a big step here to tighten him up. We'll see if it's enough.
You excited to get back on the box next year?
Man, I'm having a blast. This is a lot of fun. Really appreciate the NASCAR K&N series. This schedule is really hectic, and what a way to get back started. It's chaos all day long. I love it.
Yeah, it is. We're going to be glad to have Dave Rogers back with us full-time next year, the NASCAR Xfinity Series. But right now, he's trying to get his driver Riley Herbst into victory lane here at ISM Raceway, see if he can get around Sam Mayer.
Yeah, it seems easy. All he's got to do is pass one driver. Problem is that driver is Sam Mayer, and he has dominated for 62 laps. We were talking earlier about the fact that without money, you don't go very far in this sport unless you can capture the eye of a big-time car owner, like maybe Joe Gibbs. And Joe Gibbs announced this week his driver lineup for 2020, and it includes a couple of drivers that are right here in front of us tonight.
Riley Herbst being one of them. We heard from Dave Rogers a moment ago, will be the crew chief for Riley next year. Full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, he will pilot the number 18 car in the Xfinity Series next year. Harrison Burton will also be full-time next year in the 20 car, and Brandon Jones, who just competed in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race and won his first ever race a couple of weeks ago in Kansas, will be back with that team next year in the ride he's currently in the 19 car.
Well, and you just have to wonder how many of these drivers that we're talking to you today about will be somebody that we're talking about in years to come only at a truck series level or an Xfinity Series level, or maybe they will move on and drive in a Cup Series and race for a championship like we'll be doing next week down in Homestead Miami Speedway. By the way, keep track of everything that the Motor Racing Network is doing this weekend, throughout the week, and leading into Ford Championship weekend at MRN.com. We've got it covered for you. It's going to be big. Boy, we can't wait to get the green flag out tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern. Live coverage on the Motor Racing Network. The Blue Green Vacations 500 at ISM Raceway. Motor Racing Network airtime 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst getting ready to go back under the green flag. Drew Dollar, Ty Gibbs, row 2, Ty Majeski, and Corey Heim. They're together in row 3 as we get ready to close this thing out. 36 laps to go.
Former Evergreen Speedway track champion in the Super Late models, Trenton Moriarty gets the free pass. He's back on the lead lap and will restart in 12th as the green flag waves from the starter stand. Riley Herbst to the inside of Sam Mayer. They are side by side to turn 1.
Riley Herbst has got a hood out in front because he got some help from Ty Gibbs, and now he slides up the banking just a little bit. It'll be Riley Herbst leading the field on turn 2.
Second spot. Now he'll fall back to third as the top two sneak away up front. It is the Riley Herbst machine leading Sam Mayer. Majeski goes to third.
How about this? For the first time today, we have a new race leader with only 35 laps left to go. Riley Herbst now leading over Sam Mayer.
The gap, just a slight 2.5 car lengths over Sam Mayer. Then you see that battle for third. That's when you'll find Ty Majeski. We got trouble. Drew Dollar is in a spin right in the middle of the corner. Cars go left and right to avoid Drew Dollar, who just lost control right in the center of turns 1 and 2. A scary moment for the entire field, as well as for Drew Dollar.
Drew was running in the 6th position when that car snapped loose over in turn number 2 to put us under the caution flag for the 4th time in this event. Dan Hubbard, it was a close call for a lot of folks trying to move inside and outside of that Drew Dollar car.
Fantastic reactions on the part of these K&N drivers. Drew Dollar was in the middle of it right there, as you said, running 6th. Simply lost the handle. It's easy to do here at turns 1 and 2. As soon as he got sideways, lots of white smoke just billowing out from the rear end. Everybody took either to the outside or the inside. It was a fantastic piece of driving, and really, bottom line, no harm, no foul for Drew Dollar.
And a caution flag will fly here. It comes out on lap 65. We are now working lap 66, and in case you missed it, we have a new race leader, and it's not Sam Mayer. He led all the way up until just 2 laps to go when Riley Herbst put the pass on him, and he now leads here at Phoenix.
Veteran drivers and rookie drivers. NASCAR Today Midday keeps you up to date with all your favorites each weekday.
It's a dream come true. A lot of you know the path that I've gone down.
There's a lot of opportunity with the package changes, with the Chevrolet and the work they're putting in. And I know one thing's for sure, it's good to have my name on top of the Cup car.
Don't miss any of the breaking NASCAR news with NASCAR Today Midday, only on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
MRN's Classic Races.
Labonte gets crossed up. Labonte goes around. Dale Earnhardt now watches. Labonte spun across the line and got the win.
Spanning 50 years of NASCAR racing.
Army Hall. There's a beautiful afternoon here in Daytona Beach, and the action will be fast and furious.
Legendary voices, legendary races.
Darrell, simply, what happened?
I just hope he chokes on that 200,000. That's all I can tell him.
MRN's Classic Races, available on MRN.com, iTunes, and your favorite podcast providers.
He did touch.
No, he knocked the hell out of me.
Drew Dollar spun on lap number 65. Caution flag came out. We work under that right now. 32 laps to go. Riley Herbst, Sam Mayer, Ty Majeski, Ty Gibbs, and Derek Kraus. That's your top 5 from ISM Raceway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Victory Junction was young race driver Adam Petty's dream. He worked toward building a camp where children with serious medical conditions could concentrate on fun and not their illness or disease. When he died tragically, his family and friends around NASCAR made sure that dream came true. Today, Victory Junction is a camp that provides fun, life-changing experiences to children dealing with illnesses and disabilities, all at no cost to the camper. Help us serve more children by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Check out MRN.com for a podcast series called The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. 25 years and still trucking. We'll take you back to some great races.
Here they come. They're crashing in the back at the line. Mike Skinner wins it.
Some wild moments.
Brendan Gaughan gets turned around and slams hard into the inside retaining wall.
And the stories that go with them.
We lost the championship, but there was a lot of ugly things that went on behind the scenes. Ended a lot of friendships, actually, to this day.
Download the shows for free on iTunes and at MRN.com.
ISM Raceway, sun beginning to set out behind the main grandstands. And if you're unfamiliar with the ISM Raceway, the brand new, reimagined, if you will, ISM Raceway, absolutely spectacular. The grandstands run as you go into turn number 3 all the way through turn number 4 and right behind the start-finish line, and the sun beginning to set behind that. Lights on and lights off. The lights are on at the racetrack, lights off around the speedway, and we're getting ready to go back under the green flag.
With 30 laps to go, Riley Herbst is the race leader over Sam Mayer. Again, this caution flag brought out by a solo spin in turn number 2 involving Drew Dollar driving for DGR Crosley this weekend. Probably the busiest team on property here at ISM Raceway with 6 entries, 5 last night in the Gander truck race, and of course this car with Drew behind the wheel here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West race here tonight.
Well, Sam Mayer has to be wondering what in the world happened when they went under the green flag just a handful of laps ago and Riley Herbst got by. Well, this is Sam Mayer's opportunity to repay that favor as we get ready to go back under the green flag. 30 to go. It is Herbst and Mayer, row 1. Ty Gibbs and Ty Majeski, row 2. Derek Kraus and Trevor Huddleston, row 3. Corey Heim and Jagger Jones, row 4. Haley Deegan, Todd Souza, row 5.
Mayer in unfamiliar territory on the restart. That's in the bottom of the racetrack. Riley Herbst top side, but Mayer going to make the best of the inside lane in turn 1.
Top 6 cars went to the inside of the dogleg. Everybody trying to get an advantage, and Sam Mayer is busting out in front. Right to his left is Ty Majeski trying to wrestle away the second spot.
Majeski was working the bottom of the apron there in turn number 1 and 2 to no avail. Mayer gets out with the lead once again. Herbst goes to the second spot. Ty Gibbs around the outside of Majeski to third.
And I would imagine, Dan Hubbard, that Riley would like to have that restart over and swap lanes and drop to the inside because Mayer used it perfectly.
Now, to his advantage, Mayer has about a car length and a half over Riley Herbst. Can Riley Herbst recover? Ty Gibbs rising to the first spot. Ty Majeski in fourth.
It's the top 4 breakaways. They work off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Once again, Mayer leads with Herbst in that second spot, then Gibbs, then Majeski, back to the 5th spot battle. Here comes Derek Kraus.
Derek Kraus to the inside of Corey Heim will take that spot away. Move Heim back to the 6th position. And a couple of those Sunrise Ford entries in Trevor Huddleston and Jagger Jones, mixing it up with Haley Deegan.
Haley Deegan, Jagger Jones side by side for position into turn 1. Jagger doesn't get the good bite, with the advantage to Haley Deegan.
And a slow and steady march through the field for Haley Deegan as they race for position just inside the top 10. We'll call that the race for the 8th spot for now. Jones will take it with an outside move into turn 3.
And Deegan will tuck back in line, or will she? Now she'll dive to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side. Again, we're watching Jagger Jones, Haley Deegan battle for 8th.
Last time around, I didn't think Jagger Jones had enough speed into the corner, but he went up to that sticky stuff, the PJ1, and it paid off. This time he doesn't do it. He's right at the right rear quarter panel of Haley Deegan.
And he's leaving that bottom groove open for Deegan. She just can't quite complete that pass just yet. They race back into turn number 3, side by side again. This time Deegan has the advantage.
Jagger Jones just 16 years of age. Haley Deegan 18 years old. That's how young they are here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, and they're mixing it up for the 8th spot.
Scramble for that 8th position, comes back to turn 1. Deegan takes a nice even line right above the yellow line in the apron. Jagger Jones has to settle and get back behind the bumper.
And we are seeing the caution flag fly for the 5th time here now this afternoon. Comes out on lap number 74. We believe it is debris that has been spotted once again on the racetrack. So we went virtually caution free in the first 54 laps. One caution flag came out, got the break, and now it seems to be one after another after another. Bad news for Sam Mayer. Remember now, he lost the lead based on a caution and a restart, regained it, began to drive away, and then all of a sudden he hears in the ear from the spotter, caution, back it down.
Caution is out once again. That'll move Riley Herbst back to the back bumper of Sam Mayer for the restart. Brittany Zamora will benefit from this caution flag. She'll get one of her 2 laps back, being the first driver on the racetrack not on the lead lap, running in the 14th position. Her goal in this race, to catch and to pass by at least 1 position Todd Souza, who is in the 11th position. Everybody has a goal in this race. Haley Deegan running for the 2nd spot in the championship standings with Jagger Jones and Trevor Huddleston. Then the battle for 5th and to stay in the top 5 for Brittany Zamora. She's 20 years old, trying to fend off 54-year-old Todd Souza, who is 6th in points, 1 point out coming in, but if the race were to end now, we would move Souza into the top 5 in the standings.
13 cars are on the lead lap, 24 laps remain. Let's give you a complete rundown, tell you where your favorite driver is running with 24 to go. Sam Mayer out front, Riley Herbst goes 2nd, Ty Gibbs 3rd, Ty Majeski is 4th. Your champion, Derek Kraus, right now rides 5th. Corey Heim is 6th. Trevor Huddleston is 7th. Haley Deegan is 8th. Jagger Jones running 9th. And Drew Dollar is 10th.
Trenton Moriarty is in the 11th position. Todd Souza is 12th. Matt Levin is 13th. Brittany Zamora runs in 14th. 15th is Jack Wood. Taylor Canfield runs in the 16th position. Travis Milburn 17th. Takuma Koga is in the 18th spot. Josh Jackson in 19th. Billy Kahn runs in 20th. Zane Smith, early troubles in this race, runs in 21st. Bill Kahn is 22nd. Bobby Hillis Jr. 23rd. Tony Consentio is 24th. And Keith McKee is in the 25th position.
That is Kyle Rickey. My name is Jeff Striegel. Over in turns 1 and 2 for us tonight from Rancho Cucamonga is Dan Hubbard. Indianapolis, Indiana's own Dylan Welch is high above turn number 3 on pit road. We've got Winston Kelly and Kim Kuhn. 23 laps to go now, and the lights will go out on the pace car, and we will go back under the green flag. There'll be 22 to go. I think it's just obvious, at least to me, and I guess I'm surprised to see Sam Mayer go to the outside of the racetrack for the restart. He did it a couple of laps ago. It failed.
Yep.
When Riley Herbst did it, it failed, but yet Sam is going to try it again.
And
surprising?
No, yeah, very surprising, because Riley Herbst took the lead 2 restarts ago in this exact same situation. Exactly. Sam Mayer in the outside, Herbst restarting on the bottom, and maybe Sam knew that he made a mistake. Maybe he knows what that mistake was, and he's hoping for a better restart this time in that outside lane.
Well, and you got to believe, Dan Hubbard, very quickly, Riley knows what to do to get by Sam, and that is just take him as deep as he possibly can going into turn number 1 in front of you.
He's going to have to try that. However, unless I'm wrong, Riley Herbst has really only nailed one restart to put Sam Mayer in that second spot. Sam Mayer's just been truly impressive this evening. Big leads, large lead in the first half of this race, able to really handle whatever this field has been able to throw at him. So we'll see if it works out in the favor of Riley Herbst.
Impressive all year, the K&N Pro Series East champion, and he's a whopping 16 years old. He leads here, but again slips up just a bit off of turn 4 on the restart, and they fan out 3 wide below him for the race lead.
Now they are 4 wide for the race lead as Ty Gibbs goes to the inside of Sam Mayer. They're going to make a stick. No contact is made. Mayer gets into Ty Majeski, and Ty Majeski finds the wall to the outside of turn 2.
And that will bring out the caution flag. It will come out on lap 78. Sorry about that, Dan. Boy, it got crazy down there in front of you.
An aggressive move by Ty Gibbs. He slid up the banking. He was going for the lead. He got into Sam Mayer, and Sam Mayer got into Ty Majeski. Just not enough room for everybody here at turns 1 and 2. Slight right hand, maybe not slight, but right side damage for Ty Majeski, who's already making his way down pit road.
Puts us under the caution flag for the 6th time here tonight. Things beginning to get physical, and Dan Hubbard, as the former race leader, comes by you, Sam Mayer. Is there maybe some right side damage on that car?
It is, shouldn't be too serious. It is right in front of the right rear tire. The body is pushed in just a little bit, so it's not too serious, but it is there.
Well, here's the difference maker so far tonight. Like you said, caution flag number 6. Caution flag number 3 came out at lap 59. 4 at 65. 5 at 74. And 6 at 78. You kind of see the trend where I'm heading there?
I've heard somewhere, cautions breed cautions.
And we'll see how the final 20 laps play out, with Ty Gibbs now being shown at the front of the field.
Wings Nation, your go-to for Wing Sprint Car Talk, news and information. Find all the episodes of Wing Nation on your favorite podcast platforms. Steve Post, Ashley Stremme, and Aaron Evernhead go in-depth with the race winners and personalities from dirt tracks all across America. Like Wing Nation on Facebook. Follow Wing Nation on Twitter. You'll get stories and information and live broadcasts of Wing Nation shows from some of the top dirt tracks in the nation. Wing Nation, your home for winged sprint cars.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. Take down the number now for the Federal Tax Management Hotline, 800-242-1706, 800-242-1706.
Sam Mayer has been moved back out front. We'll explain why, but it's Mayer, Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs, Derek Kraus, Corey Heim, and we'll reset it for you after we take a quick break. From ISM Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi folks, Mike Bagley here. At MRN, we rely on equipment from Racing Electronics.
Joey Logano to the lead on the back straightaway.
Racing Electronics has scanners and headphones. We can listen to every uncensored conversation between driver and crew.
You want the championship, baby? Yeah!
And when we need live audio, in-car cameras, and up-to-the-second statistics, we use their latest handheld unit called Legend. To learn more about these products and many others, visit racingelectronics.com. Racing Electronics, the official two-way communication partner of MRN.
2019 is the Motor Racing Network's 50th year, and things are about to get a lot louder. I'm Woody Kane. The NASCAR season is revving its engine, and MRN's 2 biggest loudspeakers are back when race spotter Joey Meyer and I bring you the latest news, results, and headlines every Monday on MRN Out Loud. Crank it up Mondays on MRN.com, iTunes, or wherever podcasts are heard.
$18 laps to go. Welcome back to ISM Raceway, Motor Racing Network, with live flag-to-flag coverage of the season-ending race for the K&N Pro Series West event. Glad to have you with us. It's been a good one. It's been dominated by Sam Mayer of late. If you're just joining in, it's been caution, then caution, then caution. Now, let's go back. We said a minute ago that Ty Gibbs was the race leader. Well, that's not necessarily the case. A couple of things we want to point out. One, the person who got the free pass, very important. And now why Ty Gibbs is third and not the race leader. Kyle, explain.
One, Brittany Zamora, free pass, and that's because she's running from the top 5 in the championship standings with Todd Souza, who is currently in the 10th spot. Zamora was 2 laps down. These caution flags, though, have brought her back onto the lead lap, getting the free pass the last 2 caution flags after spending some extra time working on the car during the halfway break. That's one. 2, Sam Mayer scored as the race leader. They go back to the last completed lap because they don't use the timing loops around the racetrack, because most of the racetracks that this series visits, well, they don't have timing loops. Those are predominantly for the National Series of NASCAR with the trucks, the Xfinity cars, and the Cup cars.
Well said. So it's Mayer, Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs, Derek Kraus, Corey Heim, top 5. 17 to go. Can we get to the checkered flag without a caution? We'll find out. Here we go. Green flag back out here at ISM Raceway. Boy, big break for Sam Mayer, but again, they'll fan out 2, 3, maybe even 4 wide.
Sparks are flying from the undercarriage of all these cars as they go to the dog leg. Here comes a big move by Corey Heim to the apron, to the inside of Ty Gibbs for the top spot.
Heim trying to challenge for the lead as now we've got contact. 2 cars spinning off of turn number 2. They'll straighten it out, though. We stay green. Gibbs leads them into 3 with Mayer second and Heim third.
Not sure how they straightened it out, but they did, and now a bobble off of turn 4 by the point leader and the champion, Derek Kraus. A big wiggle, just barely kept the car off the outside wall. The leaders go to 1.
2-car breakaway up at the front. That is Ty Gibbs showing the way. Sam Mayer in hot pursuit gets a little bit sideways off the corner.
And Corey Heim falling back to a 2-car battle. Haley Deegan up to the 4th spot, having a nice run here late in the going. Also battling with Riley Herbst. He's under fire now from Derek Kraus and Jagger Jones as well.
15 laps to go, and real quickly, Kyle, Ricky, if Sam Mayer does not win this race, and you can't take anything away from the other drivers in the field, you'd have to go back and take a look at the choice being made as to what lane they put that driver in for a restart.
Yeah, restarting on the outside of the racetrack for Sam Mayer, and that allowed Ty Gibbs not once but twice to take the lead on the bottom. Now battle for the lead off of turn number 4 with 14 laps to go as they hit the stripe. Mayer has gathered it back in, has closed in on Ty Gibbs, and has pulled up alongside for the top spot.
What a tremendous run by Sam Mayer up the front straightaway through the dogleg, draws him alongside Ty Gibbs. They are absolutely wheel to wheel for the top spot.
And they nearly wiped each other out last time at the end of the back straightaway. Mayer was all the way alongside, and Gibbs didn't cut him any break. This time back into 3 they go, single file. The top 2 long gone in a race of their own.
Well, you've got a great battle from 3rd on back, but we need to stay focused at the front of the field. Ty Gibbs trying to hold off Sam Mayer.
This time Ty Gibbs keeps Sam Mayer at arm's length. Ty Gibbs will ride the low line through turns 1 and 2. Sam Mayer will go a little bit high, working that middle groove, and Ty Gibbs starting to leg it out a little bit by 2 car lengths.
And you can visually see the different approaches in the way they attack the corner. Mayer eases into the corner. Gibbs a little bit more on the offensive side. It's working for Gibbs right now as he gaps Mayer again.
For those watching on fanschoice.tv, you see a couple of battles. The battle for the lead on the left, Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer. The battle on the right, the race from 3rd on back. Corey Heim, Haley Deegan, Derek Kraus.
Corey Heim starting to pull away from Haley Deegan just a little bit. She was right on the rear bumper, but Himes has found something. He goes up a little bit higher through turns 1 and 2. Now Deegan will have to deal with her teammate, Derek Kraus.
Yeah, that battle for 4th is between teammates. Deegan has it right now. Derek Kraus all over the back bumper of Haley Deegan for now. Deegan holds on to the 4th spot, about a car length ahead of Kraus.
11 laps to go. Here's a quick look at your top 10. Ty Gibbs continues to lead by 2 car lengths now over Sam Mayer. Corey Heim goes 3rd. Haley Deegan 4th. Derek Kraus 5th. Then it's Riley Herbst, Jagger Jones, Trevor Huddleston, Drew Dollar, and Trent Moriarty.
That's the way they run in the top 10. Brittany Zamora is up to 11th, bypassed Todd Souza a couple of laps to go, so she's trying to hang on to that 5th spot in the championship standings. Keeping an eye on the race leaders as they flash across the stripe. 10 laps to go. It's Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer.
That lead starts to get just a little bit bigger for Ty Gibbs. Sam Mayer is hustling the car through turns 1 and 2. You can tell he's working overtime in the cockpit of that machine.
Well, you have to wonder, maybe is Sam Mayer starting to cool his tires down for another attempt at a battle for the lead here, and he does indeed close right back onto the rear bumper of Gibbs at the end of the back straightaway.
Watching that battle for the lead up front as we also pick up that great battle that Dylan was just talking about. A couple of cars going at it. Derek Kraus is going to bypass his teammate in Haley Deegan. So move Derek now up to 4th, Haley back to 5th. Corey Heim goes third, and Dylan, we can't take our eyes off the front of the field.
No, they've rubber banded back towards each other once again. Gibbs with about a car length and a half advantage. Both of them navigating here through lap traffic as they come through 4.
Here they come off of turn number 4 with 8 laps to go. It is Gibbs up front, Sam Mayer in the second spot, 2 car lengths between them. Several seconds back to Corey Heim in third.
Ty Gibbs just seems a little bit stronger coming off of turn 4 and up the freight straightaway, but when they come to turns 1 and 2, Sam Mayer is able to close the gap. They go off the front straightaway.
Yeah, Dan, you can see that Mayer closes strongly off the exit of turn number 2, but he gets to 3, just kind of runs out of straight racetrack before he can pull the trigger and make a move. The gap remains about 2 car lengths.
A 17-year-old racing a 16-year-old. The 17-year-old with the advantage, that's Ty Gibbs. The 16-year-old running second, that's Sam Mayer.
The distance stays exactly the same, just like it was in the last lap. This time they take identical lines, and it's still Ty Gibbs showing the way up the backstretch.
And here they come again off of turn number 2 to start that journey down the back straightaway. No lap traffic in the foreseeable future for these two. They're left to just race it out between the two of them.
Ty Gibbs in his K&N Pro Series West debut, but has done well on the East Coast this year, especially on flat 1-mile racetracks. Won at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire earlier this summer, a track very similar to the ISM Raceway. He leads by a couple of car lengths over Sam Mayer. With 5 laps to go, they exit turn 2 and hit the back straightaway.
And Mayer hasn't been able to close that gap as close as he was just a few laps ago. Gibbs may be pulling away just slightly, but Mayer still within striking distance.
5 to go, Dan Hubbard, and the separation between first and second, put it at 5 car lengths.
I tell you, Sam Mayer has tried a lot of stuff just in the last 5 laps, and I'm afraid all he can do is watch Ty Gibbs sail away in the sunset. The gap is starting to get longer, but it's 7 car lengths now off of turn 2.
We got a spin off of turn number 4. Drew Dollar has gone around, and the caution flag comes out for the 7th time. Hold everything. It is not over yet. Drew Dollar with a spin coming off turn number 4, then across the start-finish line has brought the caution out, and it's not over yet, Kyle.
Had a tough evening for Drew Dollar. First spun off of turn number 2 a couple of laps ago. Now spun off of turn number 4. Looks like a couple of right side flat tires on his car. He'll hit the pit lane, and you're right. It is far from over now. These restarts have meant everything here this evening. That's how Ty Gibbs got the lead from Sam Mayer. We've seen Riley Herbst good on these restarts. The question will be in a couple of laps from now, which lane will they take for the restart?
I was going to ask you that. I was going to make you a highly paid team owner who probably is going to trump the crew chief, trump the spotter, and come on the radio and say, Ty Gibbs, I want you to start in blank lane. What are you going to choose, inside or out?
That's a good question, and I would restart on the inside if I were Ty Gibbs.
It's worked every time.
And Sam has struggled a little bit in the outside lane. The fly in the ointment might be Corey Heim. He's been good on these restarts, and on the last restart, jammed it into turn number 1, drove deep into the corner, gained a couple of spots to move him up to 3rd, and now he only has 2 cars left in front of him.
We know that some of you are watching on fanschoice.tv, and you can see what we refer to as the dog leg here in all of the runoff room that you've got. Think of a 9-lane highway, and that's below the racetrack, and they will use all of that available racetrack down there. So what happens is we take the green flag, we come across the line, then they fan out, and a driver will drop lower and lower and lower on the racetrack. And I agree with you, maybe the driver to watch is the guy getting ready to restart on the inside of row number 2.
That is Corey Heim. As you mentioned, the width of the racetrack, Daytona and Talladega, we often talk about going below the yellow line, being an out-of-bounds line. That is not the case here at the ISM Raceway in Phoenix, whether it be for the K&N Pro Series or any of the NASCAR divisions that run here. If there is asphalt, you can use it legally. There were times last night, and in fact in some of the restarts here today, I thought some of these cars were heading for the campground in the infield of this racetrack. That's just how much room there is down there below where the banking goes away and the flat surface begins, what we call the apron. Probably what, 8, 9, 10, maybe 12 lanes total?
Yeah, absolutely. And they will use them all. And I think if you're Corey Heim, that is obviously the dialogue you're having right now with the spotter. the second that you have the opportunity to dive down there and use that available asphalt, you've got to do it and prepare to go lower than whether Ty Gibbs or Sam Mayer go down there. You've got to go lower than them. You want to, Dan Hubbard, don't you really want to be on the inside of everybody when you get back to your feet down there in turn number 1 and just kind of move everybody, kind of forearm them up the racetrack?
Well, that's what we have seen all night long, is you want to be on that inside, and that inside actually starts with that dog leg that you're talking about. Lots of real estate down in there. It is just past the start-finish line. It is the downside of that transition, by the way. The transition is so violent from the racing, if you will, the racing surface to the right side of the yellow line to the inside of the apron. That transition is violent. Jimmy Johnson talks about it. He says his teeth almost fell out when he first tried it. But it's worth the risk to some of these drivers. And we're going to have to wait and see how this restart, whether you're in the outside lane or the inside lane, a restart is a restart. Anything can happen. How many times have we seen him spin the rear end? How many times have we seen him miss a shift or anything like that? But right now, to your point, Jeff, yes, you want that inside lane to get into the inside lane here in turn 1.
Caution flag's going to fly for at least another lap or 2. You were here when a driver by the name of Elliott Sadler came into this racetrack and thought he was going to win a championship. Then they took a restart, dove down there on that dog leg, raced back to turn number 1, and well, the championship hopes for Elliott Sadler ended in virtual head-on into the outside retaining wall in turn 1.
And that's just because they fanned out 4, 5, 6 wide. The thing is, like Dan mentioned a moment ago, you have to get back in the line and angle your car to take turn number 1, and they simply ran out of room on that afternoon, and unfortunately ended a championship hope for Elliott Sadler. And I want to say, if memory serves me right, it happened to Elliott more than once.
Yes,
here at ISM
absolutely.
Raceway.
I think he hates this racetrack, but I actually know that he loves this racetrack. He just hates some of the outcomes that he's had here. Speaking of outcomes that we're going to have here, make sure that you are with us tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern. Woody Kane and Kim Kuhn, the NASCAR Live pre-race show. They will take you right up to the green flag and the blue-green Vacations 500 at ISM Raceway. What 2 drivers will join Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. next weekend, Ford Championship weekend down South Florida, Homestead Miami Speedway. We know it's Truex. We know it's Harvick. We just don't know what other 2 drivers will join them. It's going to be a good one right here tomorrow afternoon.
312 laps around this 1-mile speedway tomorrow afternoon for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. We have determined the championship 4 in the NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series and also the NASCAR Xfinity Series earlier this afternoon. Do so again tomorrow with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. No championship 4 here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. Derek Kraus picked up that championship a bit earlier as we get set to go into overtime. Same rules here that we see in the National Series, a 2-lap dash to the finish. Once they take the white flag, the next flag will end it.
So who is going to victory lane? Will it be Ty Gibbs, set to go from the inside of row number 1? I think that's going to pay off. Sam Mayer from the outside. Corey Heim, Derek Kraus, Riley Herbst, Haley Deegan back at it, and boy, long gone is Ty Gibbs. He will leave Sam Mayer back around 3rd, maybe 4th. It's on once again, headed to turn 1.
Ty Gibbs got a pretty good push from Corey Heim. Heim will slot into that 2nd spot. They're side by side for 3rd. Derek Kraus and Sam Mayer.
And Kraus gave Mayer a huge shot down the back straightaway, and now a car spinning on the backside of the racetrack.
Looks like it's Trevor Huddleston going around, one of the Sunrise Ford team cars, going around off of turn number 2, and the caution flag comes back out. The leader did not take the white, so we will have another restart here in the Arizona desert for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. Season's not going to end quite yet.
No. They realize that this is the final race and they are going to drag it out as long as possible so they don't have to put their cars away for the winter. Sam Mayer, he more than likely now will go back and restart 2nd. I don't know that officially, but I believe when we revert back a lap, it would move Sam back to 2nd, Corey back to 3rd.
Yep.
How about that restart, though, for Ty Gibbs down on that inside line? He had Corey behind him, helping him, but Mayer just could not get his car up to speed, and that was the difference. It was over had we not gotten the caution flag.
It looked like Mayer just misjudged the restart once again. He has struggled on restarts here tonight and fell back a couple of spots. However, this caution flag going to be his saving grace as he'll get another opportunity to have a shot at the race win here. We'll restart unofficially in third. Derek Kraus running in fourth, crown champion 103 laps ago. It has been a banner year for Derek Kraus. 5 wins, 10 top 5 finishes coming into tonight, but asked him this morning, has this felt like a championship winning season for that young driver?
I feel like we had a really good season overall. We've had a few races where at Sonoma it was a bad race, but we somehow came from 3 laps down to back on the lead lap and finish in the top 20. So I felt like that was a bad day that could have been worse than what it actually was. And then at Roseville, we were leading, got a flat right rear tire, went a lap down, came back, got the lap back, and finished 4th. And I feel like this year we really haven't had any terrible luck, and if we did, we were able to make the best out of it, the absolute best out of the day. So this year I felt like it's been a really good year for the whole BMR team, and try to get Bill his 9th championship here at ISM Raceway is really special.
And trying to make the best of a bad day here today after failing post-race tech, having to start outside of the top 15. Derek has avoided all these incidents on the racetrack, has raced well to the front, currently in 4th. His Bill McAnally Racing teammate has done the same, and Haley Deegan, she is in the 5th spot. But Derek, those 2 prior years of experience in this series on these West Coast racetracks has really helped him get propelled to his first ever NASCAR championship.
Stratford, Wisconsin is where he calls home, and he is a champion at this level for the K&N Pro Series West. Getting the black flag, and I believe it is coming out for the number 78. He got up, Jack Wood did, in between Ty Gibbs and the pace car, as though he wanted to take maybe a wave around. Don't really know. Maybe he thought he was going to get the free pass. He is the last car on the lead lap, so why he went around everybody and got up behind Ty Gibbs, I don't know. But we just saw the black flag come out, and we're going to get the 1 to go signal next time by. Let's talk about Derek Kraus here for just a moment. You were talking about him. Where is he headed? What is the next step for him? I know a lot of it has to do with sponsorship, I would guess, but yeah, what's the latest for Derek?
Well, he's only 17, and that's the thing with a lot of these young kids. They're succeeding so young here in NASCAR's regional series. We talk about Sam Mayer at 16 years old, the East champion. Derek Kraus, 17 years old in the West, but he has dabbled in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series this season, making 4 starts for Bill McAnally Racing, who is fielding trucks on a part-time basis, finished 8th at Dover. And until he turns 18, he can only compete at some of the shorter racetracks. And talked to him earlier today. They will run a similar program next year, running on the tracks that he can run on until he turns 18.
And by the way, Jack Wood in the number 78 will start back in the 12th position, last car in the lead lap, but they have moved him to the tail end of the field. I believe that was a free pass car, and with the overtime rules, perhaps Jack wasn't exactly sure where he had to line up, but he will line up now at the tail end of the field. We do know at the front of the field it will be Ty Gibbs alongside Sam Mayer, and again, Ty will elect to start on the inside of the racetrack. Row 2 for the restart, Corey Heim, keep an eye on him, and Derek Kraus. Row number 3, Riley Herbst and Haley Deegan. Row 4, Brittany Zamora already now back up to position number 7. Will start alongside Jagger Jones, Trenton Moriarty, and Todd Souza. They're together in row 5 as we get ready to go back under the green flag.
As Ty Gibbs leads the field off of turn 4, green flag from the starter stand, and again a great jump by Ty Gibbs on the bottom. Sam Mayer fades to 3rd, side by side with Corey Heim for the 2nd spot.
Derek Kraus gave Mayer a little bit of a push. Now he pulls the wheel to the left, draws up alongside Sam Mayer. That is a side-by-side battle for 3rd, and it's Ty Gibbs leading the field.
They race off at turn number 2. Kraus slots in line in 4th. Mayer goes to 3rd, dives out of line, wants one more. Side-by-side to the inside of Corey Heim for 2nd. Give it to him. Mayer tracking down Ty Gibbs as they come to 1 to go.
White flag flies here at the start-finish line. 1 to go. Ty Gibbs heads to turn number 1.
Final time into turn 1 for Ty Gibbs. All he has to do is bring it home, but his advantage over Sam Mayer is shrinking. Through the middles of turn 1 and 2, it's down to a car length and a half.
If Mayer gets to him, does he lay the bumper to him? Here they come off of turn number 2 for the final time. Down the back straightaway, the gap for Gibbs about a car length. Mayer drives it in hard, but don't think he's going to get there.
Drives it in deep to Sam Mayer, but it's not enough. Off of turn 4, checkered flag, and in his series debut, 17-year-old Ty Gibbs will win here this evening at the ISM Raceway, the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West finale. He is the grandson to Coach Joe Gibbs, son to Coy Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, the winner here tonight as we go to pit road.
And Coach Gibbs here with his team, and what he always does at the end of each race, and especially when he has a victory, they have a prayer, and he's having that with his Monster Energy team here. We're going to slip in here and get a comment from him. Coach, you have achieved so much in your life, 2 Sports Halls of Fame, but you told me during the break, maybe the most nervous is being a grandfather. Your emotions as you see Ty take his second victory here in the K&N Series.
I'm just thrilled, really. I'm thrilled for Ty, Coy. Appreciate these guys so much. You know, Monster sponsoring Ty. It's a thrill for me. Lord's blessed us with a great night. I want to honor him.
He was also blessed, Ty, with some great restarts there.
He sure did. Yeah, I was proud of Ty.
I asked Coach Gibbs what he is right now is a proud grandfather as Ty Gibbs does donuts out here on the racetrack. We will see him in Victory Lane.
He won at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire on the East Coast earlier this summer. He makes his debut in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West with a win here tonight, beating Sam Mayer to the line by less than a tenth of a second. We'll hear from Ty and the rest of the top 5 finishers when we come back.
At Freightliner, innovation is at their core. In fact, Freightliner was created nearly 80 years ago out of a need for something new in trucking. Today, that innovation still drives them as they constantly work to make their industry-leading trucks safer, more dependable, and even more efficient. All the things that make a smart business decision a winning business decision, no matter what you may haul. Learn more about Freightliner on highway trucks at Freightliner.com. Freightliner, run smart.
Hey guys, it's Dylan Welch. He's Tyler Burnett. We're the co-hosts of the Rip the Fence podcast. If you like traditional non-wing dirt track racing, we've got the podcast for you.
Shane Meal trying to drive away.
I can't do everything, but I could do anything and everything I wanted before I got injured. So
just like many of the great podcasts going, we invite racers in to talk, and they tell us their life story.
And it's how I feel that matters.
It's the Rip the Fence podcast, available on MRN.com and your favorite podcast app.
Couple of celebrations ongoing here at the ISM Raceway. Ty Gibbs celebrating his first win here at the start-finish line here at the ISM Raceway this evening. Coach Joe Gibbs making his way to Victory Lane. And then there's the championship celebration. Derek Kraus earning that title at the start of today's race. He is making a victory lap now with the championship flag in hand. He finished 4th here tonight. We'll hear from both of them coming up in just a bit. From ISM Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR Coast to Coast on MRN.com and Motor Racing Network's Facebook. Join me, Kyle Rickey, and Hannah Newhouse as we talk with the next generation of NASCAR stars and established local and regional racers each Wednesday at 1 Eastern Time. Or subscribe, download, and listen on your favorite podcast provider. NASCAR Coast to Coast. Grassroots NASCAR racing from the Motor Racing Network.
Hey guys, Corley Joy. Join me and my friends Lauren Fox and Daryl Ma on the Sunday Money Podcast. We talk racing.
Listen, a lot's happened. We talk about the race and your spectacular 6th place finish. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Daryl, maybe you should start off by telling us why you weren't here last week.
And just life.
What is the biggest difference this week? Because you look a little more pregnant.
I found out I have a 3rd nipple.
It's Sunday Money on MRN.com, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts.
There's our next promo.
At the ISM Raceway in Phoenix for the season finale for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. Winner has made it to Victory Lane. And then a little bit of a flash fire under the hood of the Ty Gibbs car. They had to put the fire out, but quite a celebration for young Ty here on the front straightaway. Kind of carried over to Victory Lane. Got a bit of aid with a fire extinguisher. Now they're ready to celebrate.
Well, you know, he was told to burn it down, and he did the very best he could do to, and I'll tell you what, we just saw 2 very world-class burnouts and celebrations, one by Ty Gibbs, the other by Derek Kraus. and you will hear from both the winner of the race and the champion coming up here very shortly. It's fun to watch Joe Gibbs. You see him right now on Fans Choice TV. He's down there with his grandson. Can't wait to get to him. On the phone, probably saying, boy, you missed a good one here, whoever he might be talking to. That's going to wrap it up for this season for this group of drivers. Young, aggressive, ready to move to the next level. And NASCAR announcing that there will be a brand new organization, if you will. Restructure might be a better way to put it. But big, big things lie ahead for the K&N Pro Series and ARCA in general.
Will fall under the ARCA banner this year. This effectively the last event known as the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. They will fall under ARCA Menards banner for the 2020 season. The ARCA Menards East schedule coming out a couple of days ago. The ARCA National schedule's been out now for a couple of weeks, and the NASCAR ARCA Menards West schedule expected shortly with, I'm sure, a stop here to the ISM Raceway in Phoenix, along with Sonoma Raceway and all the other traditional venues that this series runs at each and every year, like Kern County Raceway Park in Bakersfield, California, and the All-American Speedway in Roseville, California, just to name a couple of those West Coast short tracks.
So Ty Gibbs is the race winner. We'll get down there and visit with him here in a moment. Gatorade Victory Lane coming in position number 1 over Sam Mayer, who is second. Right now, let's head down to Gatorade Victory Lane and hear from the driver that's gone to Victory Lane, and that's Ty Gibbs, Winston.
Yeah, he's getting all kind of congratulations from team members. And Ty, let's start with the restart. I guess it's about 4 back that you were able to take the lead and get around both Sam and Riley. Take us through that restart.
Yeah, I really feel like they couldn't figure out how to actually restart. Like, I feel like I could set them up really good there, and that's how I got by both of them. But a lot of it was this car. It was really good, and I'm so thankful to have this team, and it's just been a great year.
So what did you do different to make sure you could keep them behind you and they couldn't return the favor and get underneath them? Because you had 3 more opportunities that they could do that.
I just really got in the gas there and got in front of them, and they couldn't have a shot there to get back to me. So it's been a fun time though. It was a little nerve-wracking there when people kept wrecking, but thanks for everybody that came out. It's a great crowd. It's a great facility. My favorite track by far. But just I want to say thank you to everybody.
When you look back on 2019, you won at Loudon. Now you won at Phoenix. Did this year meet or perhaps exceed your expectations?
Yeah, I coming off a bad year last year in bad places, coming in and running with these guys, it's been life-changing. I really questioned racing for a while, and then I got in one of these cars, and I kind of upped myself there, and I feel like we've done a really good year, and I just can't thank everybody enough. Like I said, they put it together.
Congratulations. Enjoy it, young man.
Thank you, everybody.
The second of what will be many, Ty Gibbs in Victory Lane.
Great night for Ty Gibbs, picking up the race win. We talked about his success here in the NASCAR K&N Series at Loudon and here at the ISM Raceway. Also has 11 ARCA Series starts this year and picked up a couple of wins at the Salem Speedway in Indiana and at the Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway.